Again, this is all for grins and giggles. It's a new part of the Jamborees, and it's becoming very, very popular. It was meant to just be for fun, but man, let me tell you, these people get blood in their eyes when they hit that big old tire.
Now that's the way you hit it.
I know it. I knew that.
That's the way you smack that tire. That's the way you drive it.
Guys, driver education teacher, I'll bet you. Little loose front suspension here.
Now you wash the truck off.
That's right. It's bang. Practice parallel parking it. Turn the other left.
If this is not the quickest time around the obstacle course, this truck
dropping
could be the
pieces off
toughest.
here. Back to the tire. Wacko. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I like your sound effects. The crowd loves this competition. This guy is going to go back to the manufacturer's midway and buy himself a new grill. Well, the windshield wipers are working. And we're working our way to the semifinals as we take a look now at the pairings. Barefoot goes against the fast loser, which is Bigfoot. Then it's Wildfoot against the Dodge Express. A pair of Fords and a pair of Dodges. This should be very entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining is one way to look at it, but awards another way. The dry hop procedure starts. You know, what can you say? Ford wants to sell trucks. Dodge wants to sell trucks. Ford's in this sport for the exposure to sell. Dodge, they're here for the same reason. This is about a corporate battle as you're going to get. You can talk NASCAR and all this stuff, but I tell you what, Ford and Dodge realize they get some exposure from these monster trucks, and they're capitalizing on it.
We are focusing on the drivers, but it's a crew team effort today.
Sure.
And dialing these trucks into work, a very unique racing facility here.
You're exactly right. The facility, but keep in mind, the facility is the same. You adjust to the track. The track does not adjust to you. This one, it's an old cliche. It's going to be worth the price of admission for the next two races.
Side by side over the last set of cars. Who was it?
I don't know, but watch them shut down.
Well, that was almost a photo finish. Gene Patterson, a 5:23 for Patterson. We'll go by the time now. A 5:23, 5:16. So Fred Schaefer in the Barefoot Dodge will advance. This is really a track to test your self-discipline. They cannot use all their horsepower. They cannot get it down.
No, it's a finesse track. It's kind of like a bull moose with ballet in mind.
And the curtain just fell on Bigfoot. A bull moose and ballet slippers.
Those folks out there understand exactly what I'm talking about, right, folks? Meanwhile, the Dodge is set for the final.
Dodge takes the victory over the Ford as we take a look at the undercarriage of Bigfoot. And we go down now to Victory Lane to visit with our winner, Fred Schaefer.
Fred, I keep talking about corporate America's watching this sport. You had to make the Dodge guys awfully happy there.
Yeah, I did, Army. The Dodge is running real good. New Ram, got a lot of compliments on it. We're real happy with the performance, and for the heat today, I think we're doing real good.
Well, now as we take a look at the Dodge Express with Ken Deppie and Wildfoot with Andy Brass. And the winner here will go on to face Fred Schaefer for the championship here in Naples.
You talk about pressure. Andy Brass has got a pocket load of pressure right now because we know one Dodge is going to be in the final. We've been talking to you all day long about the corporate involvement, how Dodge doesn't want Ford to beat them, Ford doesn't want Dodge to beat them. Well, Dodge has half the field covered. Now, Andy Brass has all the pressure of the world on his shoulder because if we're going to get a Ford in the final, he's the only guy that can carry that blue and white flag of the blue oval bunch to the final. I don't think it bothers him a bit, though. This kid is cool. Half track looks good. Brass out
It is.
No, all Dodge final.
Who is it? Another photo finish. I couldn't tell from my vantage point, Army. 5:20 for Andy Brass.
I think we got an all Dodge final.
5:20 for Ken Deppie. It's a dead heat. We'll have to run it again. Oh, how many times have we seen this?
Never.
Never.
Look at this. Both trucks settle down. Watch the nose on the trucks as they go over the finish line. Dodge is nose down. Ford is nose up.
But it's still a dead heat. A pair of 5:20s. We look again. And that means we'll have to run them again.
Boy, this is awesome. I guess that's what the ruling is in the sport. Meanwhile, Andy Brass getting a real good look at the crowd.
Well, they'll have to go back, check out those vehicles for any damage before they come back to the starting line, dry hop again, stage them, and race again. Now, let's go down trackside. Army, you have a report on some damage to the Dodge Express.
Gary, this is a situation down in the pit area. This is the shock that came off the Dodge Express on that previous run. A $1,500 Custer shock. The hydraulics on it messed up. It is no good. Junk. Throw it away. They had to go back to the pit area and get their backup shock. That's this one right here. The crew says they can change the shocks, but the problem is the time element. It takes about 15 minutes to change one of these Custer off-road shocks. They don't have 15 minutes. The word I'm getting is they're down to about 3 or 4 minutes before they get the call. Back to you, Gary.
So as the work continues on the Dodge Express, Andy Brass waits patiently in Wildfoot to see if he'll have a chance for a rematch of that dead heat with the Dodge Express. We'll step aside while this gets sorted out. We are back in Naples, and we're still trying to sort this situation out concerning the finalists. Let's go over to Army and see what he can help us with.
Gary, there's some confusion down in the pit area. We're going to try to sum it up for you real quick. Andy Brass will be going against the Barefoot Dodge in the final. This is what happened. The Barefoot Dodge won his race, automatically moving himself into the final. Andy Brass was not declared a winner because his heat with the Dodge Express was a dead heat. But the Dodge Express broke, could not make the time call. They allow you so much time to get your vehicle fixed. When he broke, he could not make the call. So what that does, it rolls Andy into the final. Andy Brass with Ford, Fred Schaefer for Dodge. This is final time. This is what this sport is all about. Gary?
Bigfoot, Barefoot. There's a look at Fred Schaefer, and there's a look at Andy Brass.
I don't know what to tell you about this one. Andy Brass, look for a rocket ride off the starting line. Both these guys are going to go down through here like they're sitting on the nose cone of a heat-seeking missile. I guarantee you, you're going to see.
Well, you're going to see two pros of the sport right here. You're going to see a clinic and how it's done on a very tacky track.
And we keep bouncing back to this corporate involvement. Well, it doesn't get any more pressure on either driver now. Andy Brass doesn't have all the pressure. He's there. Now the pressure levels out. We got a level playing field, but we got a real sandy racetrack, and we're looking for one green light to tell us who's going to win it.
Wheel stand down no man's land for Andy Brass, and it looks like Fred Schaefer has
I believe he did. I think the Dodge took to win. A 5.33 for Schaefer could be the magic number.
Now remember, Brass was quicker the last time at 5:20. He turns a 5:36, so it is Fred Schaefer in Barefoot. The fans seem to appreciate the outcome of this event this afternoon. One more look. Look at the margin of victory.
Exactly, but watch the attitude of the trucks at the finish line. The Dodge nose down, the Ford nose up. That's the way they set these trucks up. The Dodges are set up to dive at the finish line. You watch this. Boom.
Well, let's go down to victory lane and talk to Fred Schaefer.
Well, Fred, congratulations to you. Man, this sport is just going and growing, and you're taking these guys big time.
Thank you, Army. That's that Dodge advantage, and boy, it's really running good this weekend. It's a nice place to be in Florida, and it's a good weekend for Dodge.
Let's talk about the run itself. Andy Brass, a little bit of controversy before the run. You know, this could have broken a lot of trains of thoughts for you or Andy, but both of you seem to stay like old gunfighters. You stay calm, cool, and let the trucks win the race.
That's right, Army. I guess it's being a racer as long as I have, and I just stay calm in there, having trouble with the lights and the trouble that we have. That's part of racing. Just keep a good, cool head and do everything right in the seat, and that's where it all comes out at the end.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
And I add my congratulations to the Barefoot driver Fred Schaefer on his victory here in Naples, Florida. For Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. We'll see you next week on Trucks and Tractor Power. Now here's word of an exciting new video offer from Diamond P Sports.